Good evening, everyone. Elliot here from ESBR Boxing. Here to take you through, I suppose, some breaking news, short reaction video, ploughing a lonely furrow, but still enthused about what we're about to talk about here, which is going to be the Katie Taylor, Chantelle Cameron fight for the undisputed super lightweight titles, which has now been confirmed, taking place in Dublin on May the 20th on DAZN. So, bringing you this fight, obviously, Katie Taylor's been hankering, I suppose, for a homecoming fight for some time. Was talking about obviously the rematch with Amanda Serrano. Serrano obviously pulled out injured, shopping around for another opponent. It was said obviously at the time potentially that Chantelle Cameron was saying this fight would be too soon for her, but something appears to have got this over the line. Probably, I suppose, again the sort of marquee homecoming, being involved in a sort of homecoming fight with Katie Taylor. Not that really, I suppose Katie Taylor needs an introduction to boxing fans, but I'll give her one anyway. She's 36 years old, so the older of the two. Chantelle Cameron's 31, 22-0 record with 6 KOs. But I mean, obviously, she's been in there with a host of distinguished names. Serrano being a standout. Obviously, Natasha Jonas, Delphine Persoon. She's fought a couple of occasions. So distinguished record. Chantelle Cameron, 31 years old, as I've said, 17-0 with 8 KOs. Doesn't necessarily have the same CV that Katie Taylor has. Obviously, she became undisputed super lightweight champion back in November when she defeated Jessica McCaskill by UD. But I suppose the other names she's been in there with really, I suppose, on that run to that championship, undisputed championship victory where she fought, Victoria Bustos, Mary McGee, and Melissa Hernandez. Those are supposed to the standout names on her record. So yeah, thoughts and reactions on this really are positive. Katie Taylor has deserved a homecoming fight for some time. She's done obviously a lot of her fighting over in the US. A lot of her training, a lot of her fighting over in the US. She obviously fought in Wembley as well several times. Liverpool, the Echo Arena. She's fought over in Headingley and Manchester. All these sort of I suppose these locations over here. But for if you're in England, I suppose. But yeah, deserves to go back to Ireland to have a big event such as this. Thoughts on the opponent really are, I think it's actually in some ways better for her than fighting Amanda Serrano. Amanda Serrano is a live opponent, obviously with a lot of power, and that fight last year, to many people's minds, was a fight of the year contender. Katie Taylor has, I suppose, the difference would be that Katie Taylor actually campaigns at lightweight, undisputed lightweight champion. She has fought a super lightweight before, but that's going back to 2019, where she got a points decision victory there. So yeah, so I suppose really in fighting someone who's that was against Christina Linar Dartu. Yeah, so obviously coming up in weight slightly to fight Chantelle Cameron up at super lightweight. Cameron being undefeated but only having 8 KOs in 17 fights, which suggests that maybe she doesn't necessarily have the power to sort of stop Katie Taylor. Katie Taylor, obviously, with superior boxing skills as well. So it looks like it'll probably be a decision either way. And I think in many ways that kind of leans towards Taylor, given her record, given the people she's been in with. I suppose another consideration, we might as well talk about it. Given to I've got editorial license, it's only me talking, but I think obviously the age as well. The age of Katie Taylor. Some people have suggested that at 36 years old that there are signs of decline. I think it's fair to say that, but equally you could say she split decision to Amanda Serrano in 2022. She beat Karen Carabajal as well. So 2 fights there. She had a couple of fights she actually had 3 fights in 2021. So she's been active. So in a way, whilst yes, there may be, I suppose the sad evidence of some decline. I'm not sure that it's sort of terminal in the case of sort of fighting Chantelle Cameron, and maybe if it might even play into her hands a bit to sort of have that extra, I suppose, less pressure actually, if anything, in cutting down to lightweight, fighting up at super lightweight against Chantelle Cameron. Cameron again, massive fight for her. She's younger, obviously 31 years old, as I've said. Fewer fights, so less rounds, as it were. So potentially for her, I suppose this is a huge opportunity to make a statement on what would be, was obviously going to be a seismic event taking place in Dublin. So it makes sense for her, obviously, to be motivated to come into this 20th of May. Obviously, there's enough time to get stuck into a training camp, so there shouldn't be any excuses necessarily around that. Yeah, that's my I suppose by way of summary, by way of conclusion, that this is a good fight. This is a fight that I think Katie Taylor deserves. Deserves to be fighting in Ireland. As you know, I suppose there's been hurdles to overcome. There was talk about, previously about fees for stadiums, etc. Conor McGregor potentially being involved, etc. But she's got this night in Dublin now against a credible, well, I say credible, it's an undisputed champion, but someone who I suppose in profile, in name and also in CV and record is beneath her at this current point in time. So it motivates the challenger, it motivates the champion, and it should be a hell of an event. So yeah, all things positive, and yeah, all systems go to the 20th of May. So obviously, yeah, obviously as we always have, this has been a quick reaction video to the news. But as this fight comes up, we'll have other content pertaining to the undercard, pertaining to the main event, deep fight breakdowns, etc., etc. So check out those. Check out the content that's coming up on the channel over the next weeks with regards to the other sort of events that are coming up. Obviously, it's looking finally looking like April and May might be some good months on the boxing calendar. So yeah, check us out. Check out everything we say. Leave some comments for what you think for this fight. If you think it's good, if you think that Cameron's a credible opponent, the best opponent that Taylor could have faced for this homecoming, or if you had someone else in mind, maybe down in the lightweight division. So yeah, let me know and let us know, and speak to you guys soon. Thank you very much for watching.